The prime suspect in the killing of 51-year-old Andrea Lowe Garwood, who was brutally gunned down as she worshipped at the Agape Christian Fellowship Church in Falmouth, Trelawney yesterday, is now in police custody.
The suspect is now in custody. He was taken in by his attorney a short while ago.
So our response to that killing was quite swift. We pretty much have this case solved at the moment.
Portland businessman Everton Beach's Stout MacDonald has been charged with his first wife's murder.
Beach's Stout, Mr. MacDonald, he has been charged with the murder of his first wife. It actually took place today. And that's a cold case that was under investigation.
Jamaica on Sunday recorded 2 more COVID-19 deaths, pushing the tally to 352 and 125 new cases, pushing the total to 15,788. And the National Water Commission says the telephone line to its contact center is temporarily unavailable due to technical difficulties. Good evening. The prime suspect in the killing of 51-year-old Andrea Lowe Garwood, the National Commercial Bank regional credit card manager, who was brutally gunned down as she worshipped at the Agape Christian Fellowship Church on Market Street in Falmouth, Trelawney yesterday, is now in police custody. Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, during today's Jamaica Constabulary Forces press briefing, made the announcement.
In relation to the matter in Trelawney, I really need to make a comment on that matter. What you saw was a combination of several agencies within the JCF. The Intel, Operation, CID played a critical role, as well as the Major Investigation Division. And I think maybe this is breaking news that I'm going to let you know that the suspect is now in custody. He was taken in by his attorney a short while ago. Yes, that's a suspect. The suspect who we believe actually pulled the trigger. Yes, I can confirm that it is a family dispute. Based on the investigation that we have done, there's no other reason. We know that there are other theories that are out there, but it is solely a family dispute. We have had quite a few of these instances.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson, during the press briefing, explained that the quick police action resulted in 3 persons of interest being taken into custody for questioning in connection with the gun slaying.
So our response to that killing was quite swift. At the moment we have 3 persons in custody and about to have a 4th in custody for this killing. We pretty much have this case solved at the moment. There's a certain level of degenerate behavior that we have seen among our criminals, our criminal population. We've seen where it becomes a thing that people are willing to kill people for money, and that family members who should be taking care of each other, who should be looking about the interest of other family members, are not doing that, but are instead over property, over wealth, over items, are actually arranging and premeditating the killing of other family members. We saw that, as I say, most recently in this case. We saw it at an earlier case in Trelawney. We saw that in a case in St. Mary, where this sort of behavior has been playing out.
The police say they have also seized the vehicle which reportedly transported the triggerman. No one else was physically harmed during the attack. It is reported that one of the suspects is the stepson of the slain woman. General Anderson also had a message to family members who believe they can plot with gunmen to carry out gruesome acts like the one in Trelawney yesterday.
My warning and advice in this case, or in these cases, is that even if you're disposed to do that, the likelihood of you getting away with it is quite low. In all of these cases, we have persons in custody. These cases have been solved. There may be one or two people we are still after, but largely you will not get away with it. So if the property that you think you're going to benefit from by organizing the assassination of family members or persons close to you, or doing it yourself, that you think that you'll do this and then enjoy the fruits of that, it is very unlikely. And we have been aggressively pursuing these, and we have been finding the people in most of these cases who are responsible. We know, we follow up. Our intelligence resources are adequate to find out what has happened in these cases, and our responsiveness and our investigators have been following up very rapidly. Some of these cases are wrapped in 24 to 48 hours, some take longer. One of the critical parts of why we have advanced the case in the Trelawney shooting so quickly is the responsiveness of some of those measures that we put in place across our roadways.
Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, who visited the murder scene yesterday, said, quote, "This is a reflection of the level of the brutality that some of our criminals have gotten. The police have extremely good leads and are expected to close this quickly. But it is still particularly worrying," end quote. Meanwhile, in expressing sadness on the killing, the National Commercial Bank, NCB, says the organization is deeply saddened by the tragic shooting of its team member, Andrea Lou Garwood. The Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, has also expressed shock and outrage at the killing of Andrea Lou Garwood during a church service in Falmouth, Trelawney yesterday. Minister Grange said, quote, "The horrific circumstances of the killing of the woman in her church should serve as a wake-up call for all Jamaicans. The entire country must now get involved in efforts to end crime and violence, as it requires all of us to end the violence. And it will take all of us to defend Jamaica against the criminals," end quote. Minister Grange is urging anyone with information about the murder to report to the police. And the opposition People's National Party, PNP, has expressed sadness at the murder of Andrea Lou Garwood. In a post on social media, the opposition party identified Andrea Lou Garwood as a supporter whose late mother was a vice president of the PNP's women movement. It said Lou Garwood lost her mother in 2019 and her husband in a road crash last year. The party says, quote, "Today we pause to reflect on the tragic loss of CDE Andrea Lou Garwood, who lost her husband last year in a car accident, and her mother, CD Jennifer McLeod, in 2019, a VP of at PNP Women," the party tweeted. It also said the PNP extends their deepest condolences to her family as they too mourn her loss. In other news, Portland businessman Everton MacDonald, otherwise called Beachy Stout, has been charged with the 2009 murder of his first wife, Marlene MacDonald, who was shot dead outside her home in the community of Boundbrook, Port Antonio, in the parish. Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP, in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, made the announcement during today's Jamaica Constabulary Forces press briefing.
Beachy Stout, Mr. MacDonald, he has been charged with the murder of his first wife. It actually took place today. And that's a cold case that was under investigation. So if you get involved in contract killing, as the commissioner said, we are going to find you. We are going to get you. It may take a while, but we will find you.
He also was charged for the 2020 murder of his second wife, Tonya MacDonald, who was killed in July last year. And we will bring you more details on this story in subsequent newscast. The Kingston Central Police are probing a shooting incident which occurred on Gold Street in the vicinity of Calabar Primary School last night. Reports are that patrons were at a bar shortly after 8 p.m. It's alleged that a car drove up and 3 men alighted from the vehicle, firing shots in their directions. When the shooting subsided, 5 persons were discovered suffering from gunshot wounds. 1 person has since been released. The condition of the other 4 persons are unknown at this time. No motive has been established for the killing. The Kingston Central Police are investigating. And our news team visited the area earlier today and spoke with Councillor for the Raytown Division, Rosalie Hamilton, who, in commenting on the shooting, insisted that stricter measures need to be implemented to fight crime in the area.
I was sitting in my bar. The bar that is behind me where the shooting happened is my niece's bar. And gunmen just came and they park over the road, step out of the vehicle, come across the road and just start to shoot up the place. 5 persons get shot, 2 women and 3 men. The police always come on the scene quick, just to put up the yellow tape. That's all them do. Put up the yellow tape and say crime scene. That's all them do. What happened to the investigative arm of the police force? What happened to the investigation arms? What happened why people continue to commit crime and the crime can't solve? That don't make no sense. The government have to put in more stricter measures to deal with crime. Crime is out of control. And if we look at it, crime is all over Jamaica. And persons might be saying the Prime Minister not doing it or the government not doing, but it's all of us responsibility to curb crime. Because crime break down the area into constituencies. We have 63 member of parliament. We have 63 caretakers. We have 63 caretakers. We have councillors and we have councillor caretakers. We are the persons that the people voted for to represent them, to protect them. Are we doing a good job? No, we're not doing a good job because there's no way the sort of things that is happening in the community, and it consistently happens. Men in the area are shoot, and them shoot today, and them shoot tomorrow, and them shoot the next day. And the police come in, and them drive up and down, and them drive, and them look round, and them park up, and as them say them gonna get a break, the shooting again. That don't make no sense.
Councillor Hamilton says the police need to do more to protect the residents in the area as crime is out of control in that area.
Fractions in the community warring. Warring because of jealousy, warring about who want and who not and who getting, and war about turf. A little politics is involved in it. I tell you something, over the years as a councillor, I'm born and grow in this community, the police is only effective when outside police come in the area. The police that station in the area, they worries about the small things that happen in the community. Crime down here is out of control, totally out of control. I don't know what strategy or what the police have in place, but whatever they are doing, I must say, it's not working. I think the government should put the ZOSO in the area and let it stay for a while, because the truth is, these gunmen are fearless. They have no respect. And wherever he is, whoever he is, and them want you, them going to come for you.
And one resident explained that even though police bases are set up in the area, shootings and killings are still happening.
Based on the shooting, tell the truth, the police them not doing the work. They must take the government money, cause, alright, a shooting take place, a middle lane, so 2 men dead. Them plant a force. A middle lane and East Green Street right there, so them plant one. A Calabar right there, so 2 nights straight a shooting though, and none of them not on the scene. Yesterday, them say a car go around. The car come down Gold Street. The soldier and the police them come up Gold Street. the car brought down a Gold Street and Last Street right down there. So the car go off the kill switch. I mean, BNIs. The driver in there can't find the kill switch for lock off the car. And the soldier and the police them drive past all a man up on the top of one wall. I try signal the soldier and the police them nah stop for look. Them not even stop for check the car to see where I go on. That affect my bad car. Number one, I not work. I want to come out for look at work and this. But I can't go out there for look at work. Because I say anybody or anybody. Me come from down the road. I start fire my friend them up the road. They must say I start fire shot on them something there. And you them and me a par with a party man and work man. When I fire shot on them thing there. Yeah, we are calling upon the security force right now because security force now do nothing. Them for just drop like a zozo. Just drop some tent in the area where them know hot. To try catch the car them on the bike them will drive by right now. Them plant a force right a million there so on East Queen Street. And then plant one right over Calabar there so. And day before yesterday shooting take place, then me dey on the post. Last night the shooting take place, then me dey on the post. Every time shooting take place, them always running, building, Foster Lane and Cloverley Road. Them now go up on the next side. Why?
Another resident is calling on people from different sections in the area to come together in peace to stop the violence, as he's extremely concerned about their well-being.
Police them, sheriff is up on the alert. To catch them gunmen that we are coming in every day. From September the 3rd, them keep do this thing. And this gunman come and take over the whole place. All them a try to do, them a try to show people them say, they must fear them. They must come and do something like, and come out and nothing to do about it. It's about, because them now ease up, they must continue to do it. And the 5 people get shot, none of them now war. Show the people in business place. Well, I don't see a sense in that. All I can say it's about violence. So man, need to stop them things there. Look into themselves and show love to the community. This, it affect me now by seeing people getting hurt. They now try to stop this. All I can see them just drive past every day. Them a plan upon them. To say, well, them can do a better job by hold it. To make more people can live free up and can go through. Because it's a business, this is a main. Or you come here sir, and try to shoot up the place every day. Thursday kill a man there, so you come back this now, Saturday, come hurt people again. More unwanted. This don't make sense, boss, I tell you the truth. I don't have a side thing, you know, man, you know. I don't want this thing to be done.
And with the recorded killings of 1,301 in 2020, a new report on Latin America and the Caribbean has revealed that Jamaica now has the region's highest homicide rate at 46.5 per 100,000 people. Inside Crime's 2020 homicide roundup released on Friday shows that the island beat out Venezuela, 45.6, by just under 1 percentage point to earn the unflattering distinction. The two murder capitals in the region were followed by Honduras with 37.6, Trinidad and Tobago with 28.2, and Mexico 27. The report noted that the United Nations considers any homicide rate of 10 per 100,000 citizens or above to be an epidemic. Jamaica's total killings last year, however, marked a marginal decline from 2019's total of 1,339 murders and came as another welcome improvement over 2017's sum of 1,647. In other news, Jamaica on Sunday recorded 2 more COVID-19 deaths, pushing the tally to 352. The deceased are a 62-year-old man from Clarendon and a 71-year-old woman from St. Mary. One more case was recorded as a coincidental death. The Health Ministry says the case was previously under investigation. Meanwhile, there were 125 new cases with ages ranging from 11 months to 87 years, pushing the total to 15,788, with 3,177 being active. Of the new cases, 52 are males and 73 are females. In the meantime, there were 25 more recoveries, increasing the total to 12,068. The Yalas High School in St. Thomas will be suspending face-to-face classes this week after a student tested positive for COVID-19. The school says the student last attended classes on January 15 after displaying what appeared to be sinus issues. This means the incubation period would have now ended. However, the student has 2 siblings who continued to attend school. The authorities will be using the week to do deep cleaning and sanitizing. In the meantime, all classes will now be held online. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with more stories making news, and those stories include the National Water Commission saying that the telephone line to its contact center is temporarily unavailable due to technical difficulties, and small tourism entrepreneurs and farmers receiving a major boost under the Ready To initiative. But first, we will now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.